All right, so let's say this is your equation, and you want to write it in vertex form. Okay, step one in vertex form is you're going to kind of mentally group the x terms together, and you're going to remove the leading coefficient as a factor from both of those terms. So the leading coefficient is a 3, so I'm going to take out a 3 in those two terms. The minus 2 is going to stay. I'm going to work with that later on. Okay, so here's the part to complete the square. I'm going to factor out a 3 from the first term. That leaves me with an x squared. Factor out a 3 from this second term. When I remove a 3 from 12x, that leaves me with a 4x. Okay, and then I'm going to complete the square. Okay, when I complete the square, I'm going to take half of this b term's coefficient. So half of positive 4 is a positive 2. And then I'm going to square that value. So positive 2 squared is plus 4. So here's my completing the square. What this allows me to do is I can now rewrite this portion of the equation as a binomial square. It'll be rewritten as x plus 2 quantity squared in the next step. But before I get to that next step, in blue here, I added something that wasn't originally there. Okay, but I didn't just add a 4. I added a 4 times this 3 out front. So really, what did I add to this equation that wasn't already there? 12. So I have to balance it by undoing that. I can balance it by either putting a plus 12 on the other side of the equation, which doesn't really make sense, or I can undo it on the same side. So I'm going to undo it on the same side. So in order to balance a plus 12, I'm going to put in a negative 12. So my net balance is still what it was originally. And now my last step would be to rewrite it in the binomial square form. So x plus 2. Just combine my terms here. And so if we looked, this equation right here would have a vertex, if I was asking you to find it, would have a vertex of negative 2, negative 14. And then the axis of symmetry would be x equals negative 2, if you were needing to find those pieces of information. Lauren?
How do you know that x is negative 2?
It's whatever value, once you put it in vertex form, whatever value of x would give you a 0 in this parentheses will be your x coordinate for the vertex, and then whatever value is outside will be your y. All right, questions on those? Right, for the most part, this is the one thing that you will probably need to do by hand. That, like for most of the other things, like factoring and solving, as long as you know how to use your calculator, you're okay on that. Even completing the square, most of the problems involving completing the square can be used just by using the solve feature of your calculator.